Are we rolling? Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Welcome to everyone here in the museum. Welcome to those joining us online, here for a very, very special edition of our Thursday afternoon live stream series. My name is Will Glass from the Jazz Foundation of America, and it's an honor to be celebrating 50 years of the Harlem Blues and Jazz Band. We have a very special program today, and it's been amazing to see this band. When I started at the foundation 10 years ago, it was such a thrill to see this great group with such a legacy, which at that time featured Max Lucas on saxophone playing in his hundreds, and Fred Staten in his 90s, who went on to play in the band also into his hundreds. It's been an incredible home for musicians who are close to us, including the recently departed Jackie Williams on drums and the great Joey Morant on trumpet and vocals. And there's so much history in this band, and it's so wonderful to celebrate. Those here in the museum with us have just seen a clip, some of Eddie Durham's music, and there's a film that's been produced by a PBS affiliate, helmed by Lauren Schoenberg from here in the museum, about Eddie Durham, one of the alumni of this great band. And so now we're going to see the trailer for that film. So please enjoy this, and then we'll introduce the manager of the band for 50 years, Al Vollmer. But for now, enjoy this trailer. Thank you.
All you really need to know about my father was that he was an innovator that only wanted to create. That's all he wanted to do.
If you look at the 20 Eddie Durham arrangements for Glenn Miller, up-tempo, fast-paced, none of them are ballads.
And Eddie's playing, whether on trombone or guitar, brought that sense of possibility and openness.
He became known as a person who could transform a band.
Eddie always had Texas in his music, and the place that it really comes out is in his guitar playing.
And who else at that time would interject an electric guitar solo in the middle of some big band swing arrangement?
There wouldn't be any Jimi Hendrix or something if not for Eddie Durham. For my money, they have more in common than people would think, but that's just me.
This became a huge part of rock and roll and a huge part of R&B.
He's still like the most unknown genius of the 20th century in jazz.
During World War II, the women began to get the gigs. And that's where Eddie Durham is one of the heroes of this story.
He toured with women for 5 years.
To help them get the gigs and help them have the arrangements that could show off their talents as musicians.
It's so important to honor Eddie Durham's legacy and then play his music, especially for young people, to really help them understand the journey that the great American music known as jazz has taken.
He's opening up for Cab Calloway. And, okay, we're gonna open up for Cab Calloway, huh? All right, we're gonna smoke this stage, and then he's gonna have to get on behind us.
The ultimate in swing, the way he would write phrases, the way he would write the melody, and also the blues. Everything is heavily influenced by the blues with Eddie Durham.
He said, Doc, you've got to get hold of this band. We're not playing enough blues. He knew that the Europeans want to hear American musicians play blues.
The blues were reminding you that I've seen trouble all my days. Okay, but meanwhile, we're going to Lindy Hop and throw you over the top and have a good time.
But I don't think that was the purpose. I got to write this chart to uplift the African-American race. I don't think that's what it was. I think that I got to write this music because it's beautiful and it's representative of what we feel and what we're hearing. And it became the vehicle that did that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the manager of the Harlem Blues and Jazz Band for 50 years, Doc Vollmer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And before we go into our program, I would like to thank everybody from the Jazz Foundation, as well as from the museum, for having us here and having us get some exposure in Harlem. I've been touting the name of of Harlem and praising Harlem for many, many years, but regrettably, we don't very often play in Harlem. So thank you, Joe Petroselli, Will Glass, Bill Wurtzel. He plays guitar in the band, and he's also the one who's been in the band the longest now. So, and he's on the board of the Jazz Foundation. And I want to thank Lauren Schoenberg, who will be coming later, as well as Ryan Maloney for opening up this space. I'll introduce the band, but then I'm going to make some mention about the band that has been in the past. So Bill Wurtzel on guitar. Greg Murphy on the piano. Michael Dawson on the congas. John Cooksey on the drums. Vince Giordano on the bass. Mark Lopeman on the tenor sax. Barry Bryson on the trumpet. And Jim Fryer on the trombone. And we have Annette St. John. Would she come out and wave? All right, great. So I want to mention that when I started the band in 1973, I had musicians who had played with all the greats. I formed it with a blues singer by the name of Clyde Bernhardt, and he had played with King Oliver. Then on the alto sax, we had George James, who had played with Louis and who went to New Orleans when Louis went back there the first time, and that was 1932. On drums, I had Tommy Benford. He had played with Jelly Roll Morton. And then later on, I had Al Casey on guitar. And of course, he was Fats Waller's guitarist. And we had Francis Williams on trumpet, and he had played with Duke Ellington. And Bobby Williams, another trumpeter, had played with Cab Calloway. So this band, I'm amazed how many actually have played in this band, and for the 50 years that we've been doing it. And right now, we don't have so much connection to the past, but these musicians know how to play it, and also are great musicians in their own right. And if this came out as a vinyl LP or a CD, you're all going to be witnessing here a first, a very first, and that is, we'd have to call it the Harlem Blues and Jazz Band meets Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks. Eddie Durham joined the band and was in the band for 11 years, from 1976 to 1987, when unfortunately he passed on. But at the time, we had a residency at a place called the Ginger Man on 64th Street, sort of opposite the Lincoln Center. And we went to Europe many times. And you saw perhaps in the picture that there was a picture of the band with a huge audience. That was in East Germany. And we were the first American band to go there, and we had to pass through the gun turrets and everything. It was communist East Germany at the time. And the musicians were mobbed. They had to sign their names on little pieces of paper. The people wanted to have their signatures on these T-shirts. It was terrific. We were like a rock band. We had thousands of people. So that was one thing. And I am an orthodontist. I was an orthodontist, and so I could take time off and go with the band, luckily. And I couldn't always go. I had a very good friend by the name of Peter Carr. He was from England, and he was with the Birmingham International Airport, so he could get on any flight that flew from there. So when the band played in Switzerland, he would fly in at the end of the week. We usually had a 2-week engagement in Switzerland, in Zurich, at the Limerick, and he would fly in and pay the band, make sure they were comfortable. And on one occasion, and Eddie Durham was in the band at this time, and on one occasion, Peter was going to drive them. He was an excellent driver, could stay awake for incredible lengths of time, and he was going to drive the band to England. And Eddie Durham decided he was going to keep Peter awake, so he sat up front next to Peter, and he told Peter the whole story of the Sweethearts of Rhythm. So that was his, he could mention everything about the women. And they got to France, but they had some distance to go. And so Eddie Durham said, Peter, that's the whole story of the Sweethearts of Rhythm. The only thing I can do is to say it and tell it all over again. So that was terrific. Yeah, Eddie was incredible. If anybody who had met Eddie Durham never forgot it, and I didn't either. So Eddie Durham actually changed the music because he felt that you should be able to dance to the blues. And so he wrote Swinging the Blues, and that's on every one of Marsha's books. And together, Marsha and I couldn't have done it alone. She's incredible, and she knows all the modern ways of communication. So together we wrote a book of Eddie Durham's 11 years in the band. Thank you, Marsha. So the band had perhaps its most illustrious engagement. We've been 4 times to Russia, and in 2006, we played a huge party at the American Embassy for the 4th of July. On the 4th of July. So the embassy had a huge party, umpteen foreign visitors, people, military, and Gorbachev was even there. And we played out in the garden, beautiful garden, where they had erected a band shell. And later on, we got a very nice letter from the ambassador when he said that we were the focal point of the afternoon and evening, and he said we had presented some of the best that America has to offer. And with that, I think we shall just move on, and I'd like to have the band describe in music how you get here and how you can join this fabulous audience. Go ahead.
Thank you. What a great crowd. All right. You all know what that was. I don't need to tell you. That's right. That's right. We're going to pay a little tribute to Louis Armstrong. Louis had a spirit. Oh, God, did he have a spirit. And this is a song that we think explains that spirit. When you're smiling, when you're smiling. Yeah, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, that old sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, oh, you bring on the rain. Stop that sighing and be happy again, 'cause when you're smiling, oh, keep on smiling, 'cause the whole world smiles with you. When you're smiling, oh, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. And when you're laughing, that old sun comes shining through. When you're crying, oh, mama, you bring on the rain. So stop that sighing and be happy again, 'cause when you're smiling, keep on smiling, 'cause the whole world smiles with you. you.
Another bow, Bill. We're going to stay with tributes to Louis Armstrong by our trombonist, Jim Fryer. He's going to do Rocking Chair. I'd like to mention one thing about Rocking Chair, and that is that we had a bass player very early on who was the longest in the band. He was in the band for 24 years. The great bassist Johnny Williams. And when Jack Teagarden, the trombonist, was not in the house, he would do the rocking chair with Louis Armstrong. So we have a history of that in this band. So thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Al. It's such a pleasure to be here. And, you know, I just recently got my senior citizen subway card, so I'm eligible for the band. I can play in the band. I'm old enough. That's true. And since Barry did the Louis Armstrong tribute, I think that on that great film, Jazz on a Summer's Day, one of the final scenes is Jack and Louis doing this song together. And they had such a brotherhood, those two. And so this is in respect to Jack Teagarden. We're in 3 flats. We're going to do the last 8 bars, and then I'll sing it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. Old rockin' chair's got me. I got my cane by my side. Fetch me that gin, son, before I tan your hide. I can't get from this cabin, well, I ain't going nowhere. I'm just sitting here grabbing at the flies round my old rocking chair. Now you remember my dear old Aunt Harriet. In heaven she be. Swing low, sweet chariot, for the end of the trouble I see, oh I see. Old rocking chair gets it. That judgment day is here. I'm stuck to this old rocking chair. Somebody blow some jazz now for us. Now you remember my dear old Aunt Harriet. In heaven she be. Swing low, sweet chariot, for the end of the trouble I see, yes I see. Old rocking chair gets it. That judgment
day is here, oh, it's here. I'm stuck to that old rocking chair. Ma-da-do-da-sa-da-da-da-da.
Jim Fryer, take another bow, take another bow. That was Barney Bigard's and Duke Ellington's The Sea Jam Blues. And we're going to feature our guitarist next, Bill Wurtzel. And he can tell a little bit about his career with a great pianist and organist. And everybody's trying to keep the swing period alive. And these guys are just great. So Bill Wurtzel, announce your fiddle.
Well, I was fortunate enough to spend many years with. I was fortunate enough to spend some great years with Bill Doggett, and you know, he was a great composer, arranger, and of course, when we went on the road, all people wanted to hear was honky tonk. So I'll play honky tonk as I remember it.
Bill Wurtzel, take a bow. And the whole band. We're going to feature Greg Murphy, our pianist, on the next number. And he's going to give a little piece of his offering to the bass player and to the drummer. And I'd like to say something about the bass player, about Vince Giordano. He, perhaps more than anyone, has kept the music of the 20s, 30s, and 40s alive with a big band, and that's not easy. And when one venue closes, he finds another and keeps on going. So, and he's a winner, has won 2 Grammy Awards, and we're really honored to have him in the band. Vince Giordano. And the tune's going to be On Green Dolphin Street. Murphy, stand up and face the audience. Take a bow. Greg Murphy. Vince Giordano on the bass. John Cooksey on the drums. I understand that we have Lauren Schoenberg in the house. Would he identify himself? Very good. Because I'd like him, after the next number, to take over the piano stool because of pressing needs to get to Brooklyn for another gig. Anyway, Lauren is no stranger to the band. Maybe some 42 years ago, he made some of the first gigs with the Harlem Blues and Jazz Band, and he played piano then. So give Lauren a hand. And now we're going to feature Mark Lopman, and he's going to do a nice number called On the Sunny Side of the Street. Can we have Lauren, can you come up now? Good. Now let me say something about Lauren. He's devoted his whole life to jazz. He's a Grammy award winner, and he also did something very, very special recently, and that is that he was able to, with perseverance, tact, and he was able to acquire the Bill Savory tapes through Bill Savory had died, but he had to get them from Gene, the son, and that was really some feat. And there's a lot of Basie that was there, and so we can hear more Eddie Durham from the standpoint of not only playing trombone, but composing as well as arranging. So thank you for all you've done for jazz, Lauren.
I have to say that's the first time that anyone ever had Lauren Schoenberg and the word tact in the same sentence. That doesn't usually go together. But anyway, Al, I just want to say, you know, I've known you close to 50 years. Hard to believe. And what you've done with this band, when I first heard it in the 70s, it was kind of like an inspiration for a life in jazz and trying to bring all the great musicians. It wasn't because I was so good, it's just because I played two instruments, that I got to sub a lot with this original band of his, all over the place back in the 70s and the 80s. And it meant so much to me to see it all come full circle, the great documentary about you and the band. I can't tell you how much it means to me. And I'm just honored to be here today. So thank you, Al, remembering Doc and everything.
And now we'd like to bring on our vocalist, Annette St. John.
How's everybody doing? I'd like to bring on Mr. Joe Petroselli. There's something special that the Jazz Foundation is doing, and someone doesn't know about it.
Thank you, Annette. I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm never at a loss for words when the Harlem Blues and Jazz Band is involved. My name is Joe Petroselli. I'm the executive director of the Jazz Foundation of America. I've worked with Al in the band for 15 years. I've probably seen this group 100 times in different configurations, and it's been one of the great joys of my experience and career at the foundation. When I started, circa 2008, you know, as we mentioned, Max Lucas and Fred Staten were in the band, and we used to always joke, really. Al founded this group in the early 70s to keep the musicians who had played with the great band leaders of the 20s and 30s working, and they were still going. And it was an incredible testament to the longevity of the musicians and the ability to thrive throughout your lifespan as a jazz and blues artist. But really it was also about the durability of the music and the need to pass it on and keep the legacy alive. Now, as Al mentioned, there aren't so many players in the band who had that first-person connection with that first generation, but of course, even the great Art Barron, the trombonist who couldn't join us today, he's still playing with the band, and he of course played in one of the last iterations of Duke Ellington's band. So it's a really incredible accomplishment. You know, we celebrate this band because of its commitment to the continued kind of thriving of the art form, and it's the 50th anniversary this year, and we want to single out Dr. Al Vollmer as the founder of the band, still a member of the band, still leading it, still so passionate and committed. And to do that, we're presenting him with the Bob Cranshaw Community Achievement Award, which is named for our late board member, the wonderful bassist who played with Sonny Rollins, of course, for half a century himself, but who is also known for his advocacy for musicians through his work with the foundation, through his work with the Musicians Union, Local 802, and just as a mentor in caring spirits. So we, that's what we're here to present, Al. And just to kind of add some more context, I learned something interesting recently that made me think about Al and this band and the work of the foundation and our shared mission. And I learned that in May of 1944, long before the Jazz Foundation was founded in 1989, and even before the Harlem Blues and Jazz Band was founded in '73, there was an initiative in New Orleans to start something called the National Jazz Foundation, which would include, one, a museum dedicated to the art form, and two, a fund dedicated to keeping musicians whose work was at risk of being forgotten and whose contributions were at risk of being forgotten, keeping them going. So there's, I think the epiphany there for me was that for as long as this art form has existed, the need to preserve it, preserve the legacy, pass it on, and care for the musicians who make it has always existed. So what Doc has done is singular in the number of people that he's assembled in his bands over the years, the records he's produced, the tours he's put together. It's an incredible and unique contribution historically, but we see it's also tied to something that goes back to the earliest days of the music, and moreover, it's a huge inspiration for all of us to keep it going for the future. And let's hope some of us here will be in the house to celebrate 100 years of the Harlem Blues and Jazz Band. Okay? Now, on behalf of the Jazz Foundation of America, I present the Bob Cranshaw Community Achievement Award to Doc Vollmer. Your love of music and compassionate dedication to the great musicians of jazz and blues have enriched our world for 50 years. Thank you, Doc.
I want to thank you very much for this wonderful award. And I can say that it's been a more for me than for the musicians, because I had spent World War II in safety in Sweden, which was neutral, and that's where I got the jazz bug. And Pastor Lind at one time said that I got the jazz bug and it was terminal, and that's true. And Charlie Fraser, who had played with King Oliver and who made the trip with us to East Germany, he said, Al is the most supportive of this band. The guy who likes the band the most is Al. So I really was honored to be with these musicians, because I had collected their records, and I could have told you who was who if I heard them play, but I wouldn't have known what they looked like until I came to America, which I did in 1947. So I'm a legal immigrant, and I became a citizen in 1972. And this music is just fantastic, and it can stand up against any music, and we've seen it go worldwide, and the band itself has gone all over the world. We've been in China, we've been in Japan, Mexico, and in Mexico, there are some smaller pyramids, and our tenor saxophonist at that time was David Bubba Brooks, and we're being filmed because we were doing a documentary on the band, and as we're coming down the last steps of the pyramid, he leans on me and he says, "You do this till you can do it no more."
You can do better than that. Come on.
Mr. Saturday Day, heard they crowded the floor, awfully different without you, don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd visit the club, got as far as that door, they all asked me about you, don't get around much anymore. Doc, but what for? Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Come on. Hey! Come on, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Darling, I guess my mind's more ready. Hey, but nevertheless, why stare up memories? Been invited on dates. Might have gone, but what for? Awfully different. How'd you? Don't get around much anymore. Don't get around much. I said don't get around much. Yeah. Don't get around much. Don't get around much anymore. Yeah. 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 Woo-hoo. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have to do this special song for Mr. Vollmer. He's a blues man, and his favorite tune is CC Rider. See, rider, see what you done. Hey, you made me love you. Now your gal done come, yeah. Hey, oh, you made me love you. Now that gal done come, yeah. Well, I'm gone away, baby. Won't be back till fall. Yeah, gone away, sweet baby. Wanna be the back till fall. But if I find me a good man, I won't be back at all. I'm gonna buy me a shotgun. Long as I'm tall, y'all shoot my baby. Catch me a cannonball. Hey. Cause if you won't have me, won't have no gal at all. CC Rider, yeah, yeah, yeah. See what you done done. Hey, you made me love you. Now that gal done come, yeah. Hey, oh, you made me love you. Now your gal done come, yeah. Well, I'm gone away, baby. Won't be back till fall. Yeah, 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 yeah. Gone away, baby. I said I won't be back till fall. But if I find me a good one, I won't be back at all. I'm gonna buy me a shotgun. Long as I'm tall, y'all shoot my baby. Catch me a cannonball. Hey, cause if you won't have me, won't have no gal at all. See, rider. Yeah. Woo! Thank you. Thank you.
St. John, Annette St. John. We're going to do an encore. This was the last number, but we have time to put in one more. And
The 1 o'clock jump, F to D flat. Okay, thank you.
so we're going to do the 1 o'clock jump, which is a Annette St. John, Wayne, Lauren Sandberg, Bill Wetzel, Michael Dawson, Vince Giordano, John Cooksey on the drums, Mark Lopin, tenor sax, Barry Bryson on the trumpet. And Jim Pryor. And once again for Jim Pryor, because he played the E-horn, the horn there. So there we go.
Thanks for coming.
All right, one more time for the Harlem Blues and Jazz Band. 50 years. Doc Vollmer. Thank you so much for coming out. Once again, this is a co-presentation of the National Jazz Museum in Harlem and the Jazz Foundation of America. You can support the museum here and online. This series is every Thursday. We'll be back next week with the great Bertha Hope playing the music of Elma Hope. And before you flood the stage to say your thanks to these great musicians, let us take a quick photo. And thanks again and have a great day. Take care.